Hello, Galaxy! I'm Chris Pirillo, and you've tuned in to another live advice video, as I'm prone to do just about every weekday in this channel. Today's topic is about Apple. Because apparently most of y'all can't stop talking about it. So I guess I'm getting dragged into the conversation one more time. Can Jony Ive's return actually turn Apple around? Can they right the wrongs that have been done? Can they correct this massive oversight in relation to software quality control? Jony Ive, as it has been reported, has basically been on a 2-year sabbatical, like there but checked out. What was it that I had said? What was it? Yeah, because he wasn't really gone. I'm fairly confident that in recent months, if not years, I said that Jony has been phoning it in. I'm fairly confident that was me. Yeah, more than fairly confident, actually. That is an accurate statement. He's been there as a ghost because apparently, Jony didn't really want to leave fully, and now it seems that Johnny's actually coming back and taking charge of industrial design, not just with the hardware, but specifically software design. So his return, even though he didn't really leave, but he kind of did, but didn't really, could potentially change the direction of Apple's software. Potentially. This is a massive potential. But I am not going to hold my breath for a few different reasons. I don't think this is amazing news. I don't think this is a game changer. I don't think this is going to really modify much in relation to the direction of where Apple has been headed, or should we say, careening, wildly out of control. This is what's really funny, because honestly, I haven't talked about this in weeks, but it's true, right? Like, the software is just it's laughable, right? The thing that they've been promoting with the iPhone 10, let's set aside the whole idea of the notch once again, which Jony thinks is a good idea. So let's not get ahead of ourselves, people. Don't get too excited. Don't pee your pants thinking this is going to save everything, because it won't. For a few different reasons. In recent weeks, we've seen Apple have to correct an autocorrect bug. It's artificial intelligence thought that you needed to autocorrect one letter into 2 letters with a character that wasn't rendered properly. And then they had the whole needing to push out the final version of beta software because there was a bug which would basically cause an endless loop of crashing, specifically on the Springboard. They pushed out an OS update, like a non-beta. Okay, even if they did this with the beta, it would still be hilarious. With a final version, they pushed out, like, what was it, over the weekend? Like, late at night, over the weekend? And people. When are you going to learn to listen to me? When? I don't know. Some people still listen to me. Some people have written me off as the crazy one. Okay, well, I guess I'm the crazy one to tell you that the emperor has no clothes. That Apple has completely lost the game in terms of software quality control. And so let's go ahead and talk about Jony, right? This person who's been known for industrial design. I'm not going to slag him for that, because I think as an industrial designer for hardware, I think he's done in the past a stellar job. I think he has definitely been drained of creative juices if the notch is the best thing he can come up with. As far as, hardware and hardware design is concerned. But you might remember that Jony was around for the whole iOS 7 debacle. So unless you're completely blind, you recognize as flat fact that iOS 7 was an unmitigated disaster. An absolute disaster, which you might remember I was pretty much the only person who was talking about it at the time, actually talked about it. Every other so-called techie was effusive with praise. Oh, it's the latest and greatest. And oh, Apple. Oh, we love everything you do. That was everybody else. But me, I was sitting there saying, what the hell is this? You call this final? This half-baked. iOS 7 has been half-baked since then. All the way up and until the most recent revision of iOS. iOS 11.2? Right? The one that they pushed out late at night over the weekend. This is the thing. I've stated fact, and Apple has only given me further evidence. They've given you further evidence, unless, of course, once again, you're completely blind. Or, let's just say, short-sighted enough to believe that it's only about the hardware and not about the software. That's your problem, honestly, not mine. That's your problem, not mine. Because I can see it for what it is, not for what I want it to be. And this isn't, by the way, about slagging Apple and letting other companies off the hook. No. This is just about Apple. This is just about Jony Ive's return and what that means for Apple and the direction of Apple. Well, even with Jony coming back, even with him taking charge again of software design, God save us all, in the industrial design, you still have a leader at the top who leads by avoiding conflict. So Jony may be back into the fold, theoretically. Maybe no one else wanted to do it. Like, it's software. No one really cares. They're going to buy our crap anyway. Well, some people do care, just so you know. I know a great majority of you don't. I'm telling you what it is that I've seen. Based on your behavior, I've seen that you don't care about software. That's your problem. Because you're going to get crappy experiences that some of us are fighting to upright, fighting to fix, fighting to address. See, so me sitting here and criticizing, it's to help improve a product that you want to use. So before you get, to the point where you want to shoot the messenger, you may want to do your own little course correction there, buddies. So, even with the latest version of iOS on this slab of metal and glass, the iPhone 8 Plus, it's horrible. It's horrible. It's so bad. And you don't realize just how bad it is until you've been accustomed to running Google's flavor of Android on a Pixel 2 XL. Mind you, I'm not letting Google off the hook. They're still pooching me on the RMA. They've refused to refund the Pixel 2 XL that had problems on their end, burn-in and other problems. Google hasn't refunded me for this. So Google is still on right up there at the top of my naughty list this time of year. But you don't realize just how bad, mind-numbingly horrible an iPhone is, and iOS is, until you've become accustomed to a cleaner experience in Android, specifically Android 8.1 on a Pixel 2 XL. It's bad. It is so janky, bad, frame drop, bad. But please, let's go ahead and talk about how the lack of bezels is going to save the industry. Let's go ahead and let's talk about that. Okay. Let's go ahead and talk about how Jony Ive is going to save Apple. Okay. It's not going to do much, folks. That's my feeling. Some people say Apple doesn't need saved. Okay, you keep telling yourself that. If that's what helps you justify your purchasing decisions and behaviors, go for it. I prefer to tell the truth. That's my preference. So no, I don't think Johnny's return is going to do much. Maybe it'll be good for PR. Oh, Jony, he knows what he's doing there. Let's get him back in there. Apple will be. So what does that tell you? Even if you did take the position that Apple's going to improve because Johnny's coming back, that tells you one thing. Again, that I was right, telling you that Apple was off track. If Jony wasn't in place, effectively leading, truly leading. As I had said, he was phoning it in. Oh, man, what? Okay, hang on just a second. There we go. Not that we have a lot of activity back here, but if you want to join Discord chat right now, or indefinitely, you can head over to patreon.com/Chris Pirillo or twitch.tv/Chris Pirillo. Become a sub, become a patron. You get access to Discord chat, open 24/7, and there's always good stuff coming. It's a good group of people back here. Absolutely a good group of people. But it doesn't lack in its own. Yeah, it's about platforms and your personal preference. I prefer a platform that's fully baked. So that means iOS is completely off the table. Completely, utterly, entirely. I don't think iOS is going to see a reboot. It may very well happen. Maybe bringing the old blood back in would cause this amazing experience and revolution, and I don't think that's going to happen. I don't think they see a single problem with iOS, which is why we have what we have with iOS. Okay, I still wouldn't care to use it on a regular basis. It's just so bad. That's the best word I could use that you would understand. But that just puts a finer point on it. Like, it's just that's it. It is what it is, and Apple keeps proving that point over and over and over again. It's not me. I have no control over this junk. It's them. Get mad at them, not me. So there's a reason I number one, I hadn't been covering this because there hadn't been anything to cover. And then a couple people say, hey, what do you think about Jony Ive coming back? I'm like, okay. Same old, I don't think it's going to improve. I don't think he's a software designer. I don't think that Apple still has its eye on the prize. I think Apple still lacks true leadership. Avoiding conflict at all costs creates what you end up having to use, or at least choosing to use, or at least having a choice to be able to use. But I'm not really sold on the idea that it's going to help at all. At least as far as the software experience is concerned, and quite honestly, if you have a lackluster software experience, who cares what the hardware is? That's my perspective. That's my position in the matter. But I don't know what else you'd expect. I've always told you the truth. I've always told you what I believe, and I've been proven right again and again and again and again and again and again. Even if you disagree with me, I've been proven right again and again. So disagree with me all you want. Disagree with the facts all you want. Live in your whole fake news world. Knock yourself out. Me, I'm here in reality. Downloaded Oreo 8. Well, I really don't want to talk too much about Android. This is really about Jony. Had no idea Jony wasn't involved anymore. It makes a lot of sense. It does, but it doesn't. Even when Jony was involved, that's where the software took a turn for the worse. So here's the thing, folks. Speaking of software let's just go ahead and play this out, Zach. Let's play this out. iOS 7. Jony said, hey, look at this. Hey, I got some pastels and jank. Boosh. But you know what? When the device is turned off, it's all streamlined and chamfered edges and stuff. Because that's how he sounds in my mind, right? Not really. He doesn't sound like that. Aluminium. That's what he sounds like. So, if it does change, it may not change for the better. It may get worse. That's a distinct possibility. In fact, I'd be inclined to believe, with Jony heading software design, it won't get better. It could get worse. So the best you could hope for is that status quo is maintained. Like, everything we've seen in product development cycle is maintained. Meaning, if you could get along with the slop and the jank and the horrific user experience of iOS, and you've acclimated to what they've twisted you around, you could hope that it just continues down that path, right? It continues. Nothing changes. But if Jony starts messing with things, I'm guessing it's going to get worse. Now, this is where I could be happily proven wrong. Happily. If he comes back and he reboots iOS, which I've been longing for since iOS 7 was foisted upon us, I would honestly, you'll hear me saying, wow, color me surprised. I will be happily eat crow. Happily. And I'm a vegan, so I can't eat crow all that often without losing that I don't know if I'm even a true vegan. I'm more of a whole food, plant-based diet kind of guy because I don't want to harm animals and I don't need to eat animal products to survive. So the hope would be that he could reboot iOS and radically reimagine it and actually do it right this time, or it gets worse, differently worse. I don't know. Based upon history and based upon what I know about Jony, and that is software having a lack of software design background, an extreme lack. The cards don't seem to be playing in his favor here in terms of my hope. But I would be very happy to see him actually do it right this time. I would be. I'd be thrilled. I would be thrilled to have another option on the table one more time. You wouldn't hear me say otherwise. Be very, very happy. I got no horse in this race, right? I don't care. I just want a good product. What they have now is not a good product. Yeah, hardware and software go together. Yeah, that's the thing. So that's pretty much my thoughts on Jony Ive returning to Apple. Like, some people are like, he was gone, right, Zach? I know I've said it. I said he's phoned it in. Literally. I know. I've literally said that. And I've said he has literally phoned it in. Not that he impressed me all that much with his software prowess to begin with. So here, do we have any question? Oh, I answered Earl's question, or someone answered Earl's question. Scott Forstall leaving was the first step in the decline of iOS. Zach, you are absolutely correct. I've talked about that. That would be that. If anything, that would impress me. If Scott came back, if Tim brought Scott back for it, and had him lead software design, that would excite me. That would interest me. Suddenly, I would consider them back in the race. Up and until that point, I'm not sure there's much hope. So that's how I feel today. Yeah. Got a lot more things that I'd like to talk about, a lot more interesting things, a lot more happy things, personally, So we got TLDR, since now we've played out this topic. If you want to ask questions that aren't related to this particular topic, that's the place to do it. Currently, it's being served up at youtube.com/LockerGnome. Then I'm going to do an amazing video for the Star Wars Radar YouTube channel. It's going to be amazing. And then I'll be doing a video for fellow entrepreneurs at Creator Advocate. That's Creator Advocate, the YouTube channel. Hopefully you're getting a daily update that we're posting to YouTube. Although I forgot to do it yesterday, I apologize. I'm not even sure if half of y'all are seeing what we're taking the time to compile to let you know what we've posted on a daily basis. But thank you for watching that stuff. Thank you, everybody. I do love you. I love you. I may not love what you think is best. I may not love what you choose to use, but I do love you. I appreciate you, so long as you've appreciated me in return through one way or another. At this point, however, I'm going to leave you to your own potentially craptastic devices. May the Force be with you.